In 1993, Super Back to the Future Part 2 was released on the Super Nintendo. It was such a huge success with gamers that it paved the way for more video games under the Back to the Future license, such as Grand Theft DeLorean, and even the controversial Doc Brown's breakdancing boombox beatdown. One of the main contributing factors to the game's success was that it was packaged with the Super Nintendo. But wait, hold the phone. Isn't that a bit of a cheat then? I mean, how can you accurately evaluate the game's success if it came with every Super Nintendo anyway? Is the game even that good? Well, the answer is, it's okay. So, why use it as the pack-in title? One possible reason is that they may have wanted to rival Sonic the Hedgehog, which had a very similar format. However, the problem was that unlike Sonic, it was far more difficult to control. The way the levels were designed made you want to speed through every stage, but doing that made it too easy to run into enemies. In Sonic, you could just jump continuously to stay in attack mode, but in this game, the jump often felt unresponsive, especially when coming off inclines, which were everywhere. And of course, no frustrating game is complete without tricking you into making a mistake. If you see here, there were pits that were clearly safe to fall into, as you could just bounce right out. There were even these hovering platforms that you could clearly stand on, that also appeared over these pits, but these ones you could fall right through. So, I'm not sure why they'd be put there, other than to deceive the player into thinking they could safely cross it. And if you fell into the wrong one, you'd have to start the level all over again. Another problem was that the controls felt very slippery, and you couldn't jump very far without taking a running start. This became a real nuisance for me, especially when climbing these moving platforms. Ugh. Oh, come on! Overall, the game just didn't run as smoothly as Sonic the Hedgehog, and despite the Back to the Future franchise becoming a major presence in the gaming industry, many believe that using this mediocre game as the Super Nintendo's main selling point was what marked the beginning of Nintendo's downfall. And now that Nintendo's console market has vanished, Mario only appears in games released on Sega platforms. But I'm really interested to know, why didn't they just choose a Mario game to be bundled with the Super Nintendo instead? Let's find out. Well, what the hell?
Yeah, it looks like the alarm was tripped in the game testing room. Yeah, it looks like it could have been really bad. Don't worry, the game's right here. Yeah, it looks like the fire didn't get it. Now don't worry, I'm bringing it to the factory now.
Great Scott! That fire was meant to burn up that game. And now, I fear I may have seriously altered history. The Back to the Future game on the Super Nintendo may have been average at best, but when you grow up with the game, you look past all of the flaws, and you find a kind of charm that doesn't come from perfection, but from familiarity. That's the power of nostalgia. It keeps the old versions of us alive, even when everything else changes. But now, I fear too much has changed for me to be able to hold on to that. But maybe, if I were to embrace change, things could end up being even better.